Hello, family and friends. I'm so glad you can make it here today. It is 4:33, running a little bit late, and I can tell you why. So I have been making these hearts of hope, and I paint them and place them out on the sidewalk for people to take for free. I'm starting to see them around town. Originally, the Hearts of Hope were made from slate. My landlord and landlady did a little work on their house, took the slate off the roof, and the broken pieces of slate or the stuff that was not usable for another roof or to put back on the roof, I've taken from that pile and started painting. I ran out of slate. I've used up all the slate that they had because I put out probably 50 or so of these hearts in the last few weeks. And I just found another source of slate in Guilford, Vermont. So a good friend of mine, David Snyder, who owner of Guilford Sound, happens to have some slate for me, and I was going to pick that up. We got to chatting a little bit because I'm a chatter, and now race back to get here and talk to you. So yes, it's 4:35 now. Thank you for being here. You made it through this part of your day. Great. And this part of your life. Fantastic. So we're moving on. Kyle, is that you there? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Folks on Facebook, I'm not seeing who's popping up or who's in here. Sorry about that. I will acknowledge you. If you put a comment up, usually the comments show up. So thank you for being here. And it's a gorgeous day today. I did a little work at the Boys and Girls Club because we had to clean up the club to try and get it ready for when folks are going back in there. So we socially distanced and got rid of a lot of the junk that was in there. So those of you in Brattleboro, uh, if you're a user of the Boys and Girls Club or you don't know anything about it for your youngins, check it out. It's a great space. Also, I'm just like, this is all the business time. It's like, wow, I don't normally do business at the beginning. I normally just jump right into it. Also, helping out today was a guy who gave me a product, and this isn't so. I'm just as a user of this product, just throwing it out there. If you need some Honey Badger, they have a performance hydration pack. All their stuff. It's vegan. It is naturally sourced. So like this is sweetened with stevia. Unbelievable. So I'm going to give it a try, and then I'll let you know how it works for me, and I'll pass it on to you. But you can also go to drinkhoneybadger.com if you want to check it out yourself and order. They also have an amazing thing where they do give a great discount for military folks. So if you're in the military or you're a veteran and you're looking for either bulking up or performance enhancement stuff, go check out Honey Badger, drinkhoneybadger.com. Alvin Tucker, thank you, sir, for being here. Alrighty. So I have talked about this before, and there's a lot of stuff that cycles back around. I don't drop it all at once because we have to digest it and we have to mull it over in our heads. And so we have a problem, and that problem is the problem of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and getting them to all work out. What usually happens when they're not working out is we talk about racism, and it's not always racism. Sometimes it's culturism. Sometimes it is provincialism. But in dealing with this issue of and speaking from the point of, if you haven't noticed, I am a man of brown skin, and speaking from my perspective of being concerned, especially when I had to start putting the face mask on and walk and do some shopping, I got really worried about this much brown skin showing there and not people not recognizing who I was and being concerned because I'm in a community that is not a predominantly brown community, and we get up in arms with the big picture things, the shootings, the killings, and there is a lot of stuff that leads up to that we need to address. When you turn on your television and you look at your commercials, if it's a show that has people of color in it, then the commercials are going to reflect that. But predominantly, that's not the case. And I will speak to, I once had a subscription to a outdoor magazine, and I had that subscription for years, and I canceled it because I went and looked at that magazine. I looked at the articles, I looked at the ads in it, and I was not represented in any of it. And you say, "Oh, that means that you're the racist," because I was looking for people of color in the magazine, and I didn't see them, and that to me was problematic because this is a magazine that I'm supporting, but they're not supporting me. And the reason why I did cancel the subscription, really, the big one was they did it wasn't even an article. It was a picture and a caption underneath of it. And it was about a young black man who had done was it the John Muir Trail, the Pacific Coast Trail? He had done the Appalachian Trail, and he had peaked. He'd peaked the Kilimanjaro. He had done many of the peaks in North America. And this is a really great adventurer. This is a hiker, a backpacker who has done some astonishing stuff. And he got a picture and a blurb. And there was no article about him. And that was in that magazine, that issue of that magazine. He was the only person of color. And I looked at the articles that they did have in there, and what this guy has done something remarkable that not many people have done, and yet he doesn't even get the respect of an article. They don't get the respect of my money. This is not okay. Now, I didn't say anything. I just canceled my subscription. And I really should have written a letter. So I'm going to step into the space of we're not going to see change until we get uncomfortable, until it gets so uncomfortable that we need to change. We might take a little discomfort, but when we're not truly uncomfortable, there's no need for change. How many times have you walked with a pebble in your shoe because it was bad, but not too bad, until you can get to a place where you can take it out? But if you have walked with something stabbing you in the foot, you stop immediately, you take that thing out. How much discomfort must we deal with in order to enact change? And that's a real big ticket question. It's rhetorical, but I want answers to this because it's going to be different for everybody. I've talked about risk taking just 2 days ago, and this is about risk taking. Because what happens when I stick my nose out and say, that's not okay? Am I the next one to get shot? Do I get taken down? And you say, oh, it's not systemic, it's not this, but why did Martin Luther King get shot? Why did Malcolm X get shot? With the people, when they stand up and they make themselves targets, and they're not trying to make themselves targets, they're speaking out because the discomfort had gotten to be too much. And when when we see that the discomfort gets too much, and we work to make a change till we can get to a place of comfort, oftentimes there are even people who care for you are going to try and calm you down, are going to try and get you back into a place of comfort before the change hasn't been enacted. And there are times when you have to stay your course and you have to say, come with me. Let's make this change. Come on, get uncomfortable for a little bit so that we can see this happen. So we can move into a positive, healthy way of being, so that we can change our communities into positive and healthy. Now, also, I want to point out about this discomfort. There's this thing, there is racism. It exists. Don't deny it. It exists. But when we talk about police profiling and things like that, there are lots of law enforcement folks. There are lots of military folks. For every one of those people who you might call a racist, who actually has a problem, there are thousands more who are upstanding, who are respectable, respectful, and serve and protect at the highest level. And yet we are drawn to the one that messes up, the one uh, loose cannon. And so one of the things what I'm going to say is, and it was uncomfortable when I started doing this, and it's gotten to be more comfortable, yet still has a little bit of discomfort to me. Is one of the things I tend to do to enact that change, and is when I see a person in uniform. I didn't serve myself because I didn't. It wasn't part of who I could be. Now I would love to serve in the USO. I would love to perform for the troops. I would love to give back in that way because I am not willing to go into that space of uncomfortable to serve in the military. Was not willing to do that. Now, if I had been, what is it? What is that? I'd been drafted. Yes, I would have gone. Would have gone. Didn't come to that, fortunately. But what I do when I see a person in uniform is I say, thank you for your service. Because so often they are cast and seen with the filter of that one loose cannon, that one fool, that one racist, that one idiot who did something stupid. And in doing that, in saying thank you, I'm also saying thank you for seeing me, not with the racist eyes, not with the power eyes, not with me being lower or lesser or anything, but that you're there to protect and serve, and you're doing that. And thank you for seeing me as worthy of that protection and that service. And I for those of you who have difficulty with military personnel, who have difficulty with police officers, just taking that little thing and going, thank you for your service, can help change your perspective of that. It may be uncomfortable at first, as it was for me, to go up to a random stranger and say, thank you for your service. I don't know what they've done, but I know that they haven't been in the papers, and they haven't been, they're not on trial for doing something silly, painful, hurtful. They're not out beaten, shooting, hitting. Folks, they're upholding the law, and they're protecting and they're serving. And there are many of the in that space. So once again, I'm going to say, if we go into the place of only staying in our comfort zone, we stay in a place of conformity. And if you stay in your comfort zone when injustices are happening, then you're conforming to it. You are an equal part. Not an equal part. You are a part of the system where that injustice is allowed to be. When we step into uncomfortability, when we step into that place of being uncomfortable, it necessitates change. There's a need for change. And uncomfortability is the catalyst for transformation. As it necessitates change and is the catalyst for transformation. And there are a lot of you say, all right, revolution! And I say, no, revolution brings us right back to where we are, where we need another revolution. Evolution. Revolution is about revolving, coming full circle. Evolution is about breaking the circle and changing the circle and growing out of that circle into the undulation and the arcs and the reverberations of life, the ebb and the flow of the ocean, the push and the pull, the growth of our life, of humans, of our brains. And it's time that we reversed the revolution, that we took off the R and go to the evolution of all of us, of our communities, of our awareness, of our awakenings, of our spirituality. Just step into that space of evolution. And we are in a huge, dramatic, drastic evolutionary shift right now. That's what this is. That's what this is. You may call it a coronavirus or a pandemic. This is evolutionary change happening in your moment. This is what goes into the history books as the catalyst for a big shift in how we do and how we operate. Hopefully, it creates a little shift in how you be and who you be. Yes, I did say that. Who you be. Who you be. Because that being space and that open space and that loving space is what is necessary to come out of this evolution in a healthy, monumentally miraculous, momentous place. Alrighty. Once again, I did not pick a writing for today, so I am going to just reach it. See me scanning over, trying to figure out what to do. Once again, so I'm going to just throw out there once again, Honey Badger, drinkhoneybadger.com. Check it out. Just check it. I checked it out. I really like what they have to say, and I can't wait to tell you how this stuff tastes. So one of the things I switched my dietary patterns a couple of months ago. Plant-based stuff is mainly where I'm at right now. I'm not doing any vegetable or any animal proteins. So to have this be totally vegan was like, whoa, okay, that's incredible. I'm going to pick out a poem for you right now. Let the divine do the driving to find you something. All right, here we go. From May 12. From a poem a day. Stand quietly, confident in stance, think loudly, generating unique opinion, drift effortlessly, pressing persistently on the boundaries of the possible. One more time. Stand quietly, confident in stance, think loudly, generating unique opinion, drift effortlessly, pressing persistently on the boundaries of the possible. When you press effortlessly, when you press on the boundaries of the possible, is when we create the impossible. Oh, we bring impossible into being. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Cousin Dell, for being here, Alvin, Kyle. Who else do we have over there? Salam. Oh, thank you, Master Salam. And everyone else who's joined me today. Tony B for hooking me up with the Honey Badger. Thank you very much. And if you've got, drop me some lines. Tell me how this is going. I'm seeing some hearts popping up there. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. And I'm just filled. So tonight I have to get some of these hearts out there because my community is asking for them. Hearts of hope. And you know what? You can do that in your community too. I just go to the hardware store. I get some paint that's exterior, interior paint, and I have a red, a white, a yellow, and a blue. And my hearts are always red. And outlined in white because it just makes it pop a little bit more. And then everything else just comes from the heart. They're all unique. They're all different. And it's just, if I can't grab you and hug you, this is what I can do to show my love. And stay loving, people, please. In these times, as you evolve, stay loving, stay wonderful, and keep your hearts open. Remember, stay safe, be well, stay sane. Move forward with passion and purpose. And remember, you are enough. I am enough. Say it with me. I am enough. Breathe that one in. Breathe it in. Come on. And breathe it out. I am enough. You are enough. Thank you very much. Have a great day.